Hello guys, welcome to my next video. Part 6, part 6B. Okay. Let's look at this guy first. Okay, this guy is actually a review of the guy you see here. Okay. It's one of those things I do, or I spend at my workbench just to get my off things, to relax, chill out, that sort of thing. Okay, the reason I show you this one is because of this. Now in part 6A, this guy has a black mustache, somewhat painted body, and then actually I pull out this headsculpt to try on this guy, and as it turns out, this 1:7 scale headsculpt looks better with this MCH helmet, or what we call it, being more characteristics. Okay, so let's have a look at this guy again. Okay, I still have the shirt here. Okay, on Facebook actually, this type of figures that I built and not posted was actually called a base figure, which actually I build and then keep aside. This is for future project or whatever. Some can be built into full diorama, full figures, all this, like this one. Okay. Oh, okay. What the heck? I will show you some of my so-called this type of base figure. This guy is actually a old dragon. Okay, then actually when I bought this thing for this rocket launcher he had on, but after I got the figure home, I sort of did up the face, rearrange the uniform, everything a bit, barefooted. Okay, this one is actually what I call a roofer from Georgia. Right now classified as a base figure, ready for another build. Okay, and then of course Agent 003 on the tin scooter. This is tin. It was a mental conversation piece in a 1/6 scale. Then we have, of course, we have this guy. And then this guy. I think most or all of these 5 figures is actually posted on my Facebook. And now the latest one is this guy. He looks like a farmer. Okay, I think enough of this guy. Let's get on to building up Gunny. Okay, give me a few seconds. Well, I get some commercial. Please subscribe to my channel, guys. My channel is new. I need your support. Okay, thank you. Okay, I see you guys now on my homemade holder. Get the things out. Get the things out of the way, and then we'll start with Gunny. You know, yesterday was actually one of those I can't get into the swim of things days. I actually broke my old mouse. Got a new mouse. This is the shirt that was on to the guy. Of course, PV8 as per SOP. Okay, let's get Gunny going. Okay, let's check the angle again. Okay, here we go. Now, as this yesterday I think I did this thing on part 6A. Then after it has dried overnight, it actually turned out quite well. The shapes, everything turned out quite well. And then this is actually the headsculpt with this now coyote brown 550 quartz. There would be a bit of trimming here. It's getting too long in the tooth. Yeah. Yes. Now, for this session is, for me actually there's no timeline, deadline. You know, it's just something that I wow away my time. It's what I'm saying on Facebook. Okay, building up a 1/6 figure from parts, or building a kit from a box is one thing. I mean, building from a box, I can build 2 a day. So over a year, I may end up with maybe 600-700 figures. But that's not the point. The point is actually to fiddle with all these things, make it a little bit better. Okay, or like what some of them said, customize. Okay, one more thing about this one. Let's pull this figure down again. Okay, when I move Gunny's head, let's see if I can find the head. Gunny. Okay, this is actually the old Gunny's head. One reason I change over to this head is because of the size. This old dragon head is actually quite big. Then it doesn't match to this copper elthers. So when I try this thing on, the size actually surprised me. It looks much better. So I decided to go with this one. Then of course, as per standard SOP, I go and snip off the old. I think I threw them away. I go and snip off the old what we call joint here, and did what I did here, which is a fireball, any ball. Okay, drill, then put in a length of for this one is a copper tubing into a dragon socket. Then have the thing mounted in. Then of course here just drill, the thing goes in. So yesterday when I was doing this one, I actually got tired. I actually got into the mood of not searching for a ball joint. So I just found something off my workbench. Just drill. Okay, cut it somewhat, and then mount it in. So for as his cup connection go, you only need to go a few degrees left, a few degrees right, up, down. Okay, that's all you need. So this is a bit of a something now, just in case you guys run out of ball joints or something, then you know what kind of prices you are paying for that just one piece of plastic. It's ridiculous. Hey, so for the heck of it, see how this guy looks here. Okay, nah. This guy is actually the size of the old dragons, or slightly smaller. Yeah, slightly smaller, with better detail. This is a kit. I still haven't get around to painting those details yet. Okay, the ball is stuck here, so we'll take off this one. Use this one on here. Reinstate this thing here. Where is the hole? Yes. Okay. Remove this one. Remove the old Gunny. Where is the and pop this thing here. Okay. I don't know, for some reason this 1:7 scale headsculpt fits much better here. It looks much better here. Okay. I also yesterday, for some reason, besides my mouse being destroyed, I also developed a pain here. Now my left hand has no strength, zero strength. Okay, something like that. So okay, of course it's still as tough as the old one. So as I mentioned yesterday, my camera was turned on, but somehow it stopped recording. So some of the things I do here is not recorded. So I go over it again. Okay, this one I PVA this thing, have it weathered. Some patches, and have a knife attached to to the vest here. Okay, those are the brighter green one that is dry brush on is now blended in to this vest. Okay, blended in more closely to with this vest. So right now, besides this scratch wheel goggle, okay, I also have the original liner reinstalled. Okay, this is actually I have to remove this liner to fit into the old Gunny head. But now this being 1/7 scale, it fits. It fits, and given this type of helmet with the side protruding and a goggle, it looks actually much better. Okay, it actually looks much better. So that was what I did off camera. Not in this part 6A, I think it's in part 5E or 5F. So right now we'll get on to the other parts. Okay, one reason why this thing, the parachute, everything didn't fall off during those drops is actually they are actually tied on. I used to super glue this joint, but super glue doesn't hold well. Actually, one of my kantok. Okay. Actually, one of my pet peeve about 1/6 is if it's not built well, it's quite fragile. Seriously, when I first came into 1/6, and then I go around looking at other people's the build figure, mostly kid figures, they refuse to even let me handle it. They were telling me oh, how fragile it is, you might break something, all this blah blah blah. Okay, so for this type of a buckle, it's supposed to be a carabiner type, but when they came, it actually was not. It's only a hook, which actually came up quite easily. Let me get off this one because I need to get the detailing done. These two actually came off quite easily. But what I have done is actually I tie some cords here. Hey. Give me a second. Okay, some of this cord at this section. Okay, pull it up, super glue this part carefully, let it dry, and now I have a spring clip. Okay, oh, this one I think the super glue came off, or it's not that well done. Oh, I broke off taking everything out this one. Okay, so after this thing is tie on, pull, super glue, let the super glue go into this thread, and you have a spring loaded carabiner. That's why it survived all those drop tests. So what to do now? Okay, clean up this one, tie back this one. turn this one so that it looks job ready. Okay. The other thing I did was actually tie a cord here to keep this piece, and then of course the length of this rib cord is also PVA. So when it comes down, grab this thing, you still can, how do I say, it will impart a sense of motion because you still can post it. PVA. So we'll get down to detailing some of the parts. Okay, we'll start with the shoulder pad and the knee pads. Given the period, I need this because I need to weather the goggles and the helmet a bit. Okay. Yesterday I stopped painting, and then later we'll do some washes here, together with the knee pads if I can still find them. Okay, so let me put away this one. Sort out the things that we need. Put my pile here. Okay, knee pads, shoulder pads. Knee pads, shoulder pads. So what else do we need? What else do we need to do? Okay, this one. Yeah. I think I detail the parts green. So the green, some of the green will end up here. This one needs more washes. Hey, for some reason, those parachutes that I see, even it came out from the parachute riggers compound, all appeared to be weathered dirty. I don't know why. Okay, so we'll do this thing, weather all this thing in green. So the other thing I need to remember is these two, and then the gate, the leg support. This one I think in real life is leather. So we'll deal with this later. So another thing is, this knife is actually there's a butterfly here, benchmade. So with all the washers going about, I think we'll try to pick out this benchmade mark also. So what do I do now? Open the windows. Oh, give me a second. Turn off the aircon. Open the windows for ventilation. Turn on the fan, which doesn't work. Okay, ventilation, then here we go. So for this one today, basically it's mostly greens. So as you remember, this is the green that is dried out from yesterday's. So we need a paintbrush cleaner, some green colors, any green colors. Okay. And then of course my DIY washes. Show what do we do now. Okay. Let's start painting. Now, as far as painting goes, in everyone's mind, it's very tedious. You have to be precise on your hands, in your using your hands, all these things. One reason actually I stick to weathered miniature is actually the perception is somewhat true, but it's very forgiving. Okay, because I need to weather a bit, let's start with the darker color. I think I never washed this brush also. It's used for I think a red previously, a red wash doing the eyeballs. So let's start with some green on the plastic cups. Okay, green plastic cups. This is fabric. Maybe some of the buckles. Some of the buckles. Hi, on Facebook, I keep on mentioning for 1/6 scale, hobby paint is actually one of the cheapest accessories. Then I'm glad that some of you guys actually contact me to ask me about paints, solvent, what type of paint to use, blah blah blah. I thank you for the interest, for the questions. Okay, so basically right now, I think I'll give you a version of actually how I reply to the inquiries. Actually, after I stopped modeling, plastic modeling in I think about 82, 83. Then actually come back about 3 years back in 1/6 scale. Before this 1983, 84, I think I was on and off doing this plastic scale modeling for I think maybe about 8-10 years. Now you just remember, no, that is 1983 now. 8-10 years is 1975, 76, 70 something like that. No? Now in 1975, 76 actually for hobby is actually how do I say, not as developed as right now. Even in as late as in 1983, 84, modeling hobbies magazine, no, those hobby as in radio control, car radio control, boat control, radio control plane. 1/6 was not invented then, or just coming onto market. All these all the hobby, you know, including figurine, those porcelain figurine collection, is only under one magazine. And it's not a thick magazine, it's a thin magazine. Then, like let's say the radio control aeroplanes, there's only one section dedicated to these radio control aeroplanes. Boats another, plastic modeling another. So sometime in 1984, 85. Somehow the hobby just took off. I think Dragon DML has something to do with it. And then of course the hobby just took off, and then the hobby magazine actually start to divide. Then we have dedicated edition, whole magazine dedicated to the hobbies like plastic modeling, radio control planes, radio control cars, radio control boats, so on and so forth. So actually when I started this thing, Tamiya was not even a common thing. In the 1970s, when I was doing this thing as a primary school student or early secondary, a tin of FX plane cost Singapore 20 cents. You just imagine Singapore 20 cents for a tin of FX plane. But back to the question of query on paints. What should I use? Acrylics, enamels, or some other funny concoctions nowadays have, which I never read on, never research, because I'm still sticking to enamels. Okay, why do I stick to enamels? I've actually seen models built in the 70s, 1970s. The color actually held out quite well even now. Although the plastic are failing, the glues are failing, but basically it's still, the color still held out well. Then second is actually the cleaning up part. Okay, pouring thinner into things like that is one thing, but you have a paint spill, you need to clean up a surface like a workbench, or maybe overhaul an airbrush. Okay, a cheap bottle of this hardware store thinner will do it all in less than 2 Singapore US dollar. And you still have leftovers. Although with this current war, I think a bottle of 1 liter hardware store thinner might have broke the $2 mark currently. So this one. Do I need here some of this here? It's a darker shade. I actually need a lighter shade. Okay, no matter. So as I'm yakking away, enamels actually dry up quite fast. So right now we go on to the lighter shades. Then actually in one of the inquiries, I also someone asked me. In my answer, I actually told him after so many years in hobby, I'm still figuring out enamels, which is true. Okay, as I only work on one singular type of paint, the variables like what kind of weather, how hot it is, how cold it is, how much thinner to mix in. Do I really have to use clean thinners or use thinner? All these things actually become a variable. So as I get comfortable with paints like that, sometimes I really don't need to wait for the paint to dry to apply this one, that one. But of course, my advice to anyone just starting to try out this one, wait for overnight, or at least use a hair dryer. At least use a hair dryer to try to figure out things until you are very comfortable with what you have, the characteristics of the paint, of the solvent, blah 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 blah. You know. Hey, how come end up with roughly the same? So we need to lighten this thing down. So we need some of this. So dry brushing. After some like all things, after some time with it, you get a feel of the characteristics. You can hide crumbs like, okay, see, this is painted matte. This is painted, but at that point in time, maybe the portion that I touched, there's still too much thinner in. So it's actually, this two is actually dried gloss in color. So when you can get the characteristics of the thing, you can even hide things like that. This okay, I start with this one because I started on there. Okay, gloss things like that, even it's dry brushing. Will make the thing matte again. Things like that, just to have the, if you can get the feel of the material you're using. This is what fiddling with things will get you. Okay, the buckles. So after a while, as you get things under your belt, this type of thing is actually very relaxing. Very relaxing, I can tell you. Then it also saves you a bundle of parts. You know, you really need to have this thing in this color, looking like that. You can do it. And then given the prices of a parts accessory and the availability of accessory these days, this hobby paint is the path I advise on. Okay, so right now the parts here, some here, elbows, they don't get too much rub than knee pads. So here the same, not much rub. Then of course, like what you see, I don't actually go for one particular color. I do it like what oil artists or these painters do. Just find a bunch of colors, mix as you go along. I mean, even when I was doing 1 to 35th scale, 40th scale, those sorry, can't speak, smaller scale. Originally, I did stick to this the color code that was given. You know, those FX have certain color code, the matchbook have certain color code for certain paint over a certain period, blah blah blah. But of course, after I moved to 1 to 35th scale and then start doing weathering, I came to realize, hey, a lot of these color codes, although they are authentic, doesn't apply in real life. In real life, even the same, let's say the uniform, Okay, the same uniform. They may be from a different supplier. Okay, so then there will be color variation in terms of wear and tear, usage, sweat, dust, all these things. You know, I have people arguing over this exact multi-cam pattern over that multi-cam pattern for that particular army or what. But to me, it doesn't make sense. You see, when any uniform you put it, any uniform, any BDU that you put in, now the current one tend to be covered by a molly vest, belt, okay, maybe a backpack, maybe other crap, other things, leaving only maybe this part exposed, the pen partly exposed, and some of them with the sleeves rolls up, even shows less. Plus, if you do things like PVA, this one to do extra detail like creases, the folds will hide most of the pattern too. So actually, to me, it doesn't make sense. Then actually, I have arguments over this in my private messages. Really arguments. Talking like a British multi-cam is different from a US multi-cam, which is different from I don't know what cam. Then I was asking him, what about wear and tear? How it look in 1/6? How is it going to be represented in scale? This sort of thing, blah blah blah. You see, one of the buckles came off. If actually this figure is actually built, okay, so, placed on the shelf, one of your kids if we were to handle this one, then this thing fell off into the black hole, cannot be found. Then what? So engineering, some sort of engineering like this type of things. Okay, this is the one that I super good just now. It's hardened already. Like this sort of thing is actually needed. Of course, some people will again argue that this is not authentic. The real thing doesn't have this thing on. It will look silly, blah 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 blah. This type of thing, it never ends. But the thing about modeling is we are not trying to play God. How far are you going to get into this one? Okay, for a figure like that, what are you going to pick on? Are you going to pick on, oh, this thing is not authentic, the real one is not like that and like that? Then one of my answers over the year is, are you going to cut into this figure or not? Are you going to find a heart and a kidney inside or not? And then even if you find the kidney, are you going to find kidney stones inside or not? Okay, I'm not being sarcastic, no? But the thing is, it's a figure. It's a representative of a figure, of someone in something in life, in situation or what. Then we do what we can to best represent the situation. I mean, I'm not even being sarcastic, but because even in the early days of modeling, when I do visit those model shops, then we have this type of session face to face, in person, about the markings on maybe a F-14 Tomcat in the early 70s, the muted ones in the late 80s. How is it different? Blah blah blah, all these sort of things. But what I'm onto about is those tactical gurus. They die want you to do this, die want you to do this because it's not that, you know. It's not chicken, it's something like you give and take. This guy is actually, these guys are, this type of guys is actually quite bad for the hobby. You just imagine newcomers. They just post their pride and joy, after spending many pleasurable hours building their model, post it on Facebook, then have someone attack them. Hey, because this is so authentic, you have this thing, this thing is not period, then the kid or the guy will get, the feeling of, I don't need this. What kind of hobby is this? Okay, some silvers to the black. No, not silver. The grays to the black. And then we have something like that. Do I need silvers here? I don't know. Grays here. Nah, I think it'll be overkill. So pets. Oh, good lord! I forgot about the gloves. Same unwashed brushes with the gray. Activate this thing. I think it's too thin. So let's reactivate the other parts, and then we'll put some of it on this glove. Now this glove is actually one of my item back when I just came back to skill hobby after 30 plus years. Then I rebought some of this one. Then to my surprise, I forgot what I what I know. Okay, the painting, the weathering, they came so easy when in the 1980s. Suddenly it's a blur to me. I forgot everything. I forgot what to use, what to use, which to use, what not to use. And then this pair of old posable dragon rubber glove. It's actually one of those things I actually painted very badly. One reason things like that came off is because of the paint I applied 3 years back. So right now I have a chance to rectify some of these things by a lighter green to cover up the crime. So when this thing comes down like that, okay, need more light here. This thing holding up like that. Needs more this area to be covered. Okay, so we are like that. Okay, so before I put on the shoots, let's wash this thing. Careful with this part. Okay, put away the pins. And let's get on with some simple wash, then get this thing on this one, then we'll continue. So for things like that, hobby paint, some thinner, some old unwashed brushes, it became like that. With the old dragon elastic strap too. So we'll get on to with the washes. I think I need, these are all dark. I think I need some How red. One more thing. I actually ran out of How red totally, whether in wash or what. So the next color I use is actually flat brown. It's not exactly what I want, but it's quite close. But I've discovered flat brown if we are doing faces, it doesn't actually quite work. The shade is waste off. Do I use this one now? Let me get a better, smaller, thinner brush. Okay. It's actually a bit too dark to do a figure. Tamiya How Red is very close to this what we call burnt cyanide, which you read in magazine, you heard on YouTube. It's a quintessential shade to do skin, faces, figures. Some at the temples. The color for this flat brown, the color is a bit it's a bit off. Don't worry about this headsculpt because this one is actually an old, I think 21st century item. I think it's done with the oil. I'm going to dunk this thing into thinner and strip everything. So maybe, yeah, this is the part that I don't like. You know, when you try to get a shape blended, you get it gets dark, very dark. Not like a Tamiya How Red. Okay, this is where I blend everything. I hope you guys can pick it up, but it's not the usual burnt sienna, can't pronounce. Burnt sienna shade that you get. Okay, it's waste off. But on the bottle, from the bottle, it's actually quite, you can't tell. But for face painting, enamel, I think the one that I found quite suitable is actually XF9 How Red, not this SF10 flat brown. Headsculpt painting How Red. Right now I have XF10 inside XF9 body bottle, sorry, can't talk. So this thing into here with some thinner becomes a wash, which I will apply here. Okay, and the crevices over the grays, just to tone down the gray a bit. Okay. Of course, white, red, brown, and not black. This cushion is black in color. So with more black on black, in this case it doesn't make sense. Okay. So pick up the recess here. Okay, this reverse hole, and hopefully wash some of the dry brushing of the reverse. Okay, so right now, okay, we have all these things positioned. Then for the neck, for the knee pads, it's almost there. Okay, so yeah, I'm happy with it. So of course the next one is actually some fixes, some fix of pin. to blend everything together. Okay, so I do it now one shot here. Show as not to feather butter by butter, trying to be authentic, trying to be perfect, you know. I don't know how I don't know actually how those museum quality guys build museum qualities figure. Maybe they do it by the individual butter. Okay, so basically we have this thing done like so. Okay, throw it one side, we'll get on with this one. The same SOP, into the recesses, the brown into a black recess. Try to pick up the thread pattern. Okay, wash maybe wash some of the copper rivets. Okay, milk the gray that I dry brush on. Okay, the pins here. No, actually, this method is actually what I use for my 1 to 35, 1 to 48 scale tank. Instead of just spraying everything with coats of matte varnish, gloss varnish, then you after drying for 2-3 days, then you apply wash over it, then you remove the wash with methanol spirit or whatever. I tend to do this way back in the 80s also. It's actually a modification of what was actually done by a lot of people. Okay, this one, for this one, there's too much gray, so I apply a bit more. Okay, a bit more to this side. Okay, the crevices. Okay, so basically we have both a bit more balance. Yeah, in terms of the grease tone, we have it a bit more balance. Yup. And of course graphics. So we'll try to get this thing like that. Get this thing like that, we'll do it one go. Okay, for shoulder one, they will not get as much rub as the knee one, but they will be stained more. So with this fix, I go a bit more crazy. Okay, so basically we have this thing to a stitch like that. Okay, I'm happy with that. So one side, then we came to the helmet. Okay, so for this one, like what I told you, in part 6A, a green, the two same on top, same shades that goes in, doesn't look great then, but as it dries overnight, I'm happy. Then of course some of the creases that I want it on is there. So right now we'll do some specials. Thin out the wash. Okay, we'll do some specials. Over the goggle, even the cigarette, which I'm lazy to remove. Okay, of course the other sides. Over the especially this one that is supposed to the shades those area that how you say, in the shadows. Of course, need to tone down this still quite bright webbing. Okay, somewhere here, somewhere there. The badge. Okay, so more fix over somewhere here, there, everywhere. Okay, so we have something like that. Yeah. So what else should we do? We'll go to this guy later, but we'll finish up on the goggle with some black or darker color ones. Yeah, darker color ones. This is almost black, I think. Yeah, almost black. Like what I said, there's no hard fast rules. Hard and fast rules. You don't have to, you know, do it like you're doing some science lab work or something like that. You just have to look good, or look half authentic. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, the black are really add some depth into this thing. So we have now some fix of depth into the lens cover itself, and then I'll call it done. I got most of the shadowed part shadowed, including the rim. What needs to be shadowed shall be shadowed, more or less. Yep. And then of course the tear that I purposely ripped into the crease, the line, the crease line. Oh no, the zone, the what you call what? The lines that the both material are sewn together. How do you call that? How do you call that? Yeah, we more or less get it to this stage. Okay, so last but not least, we come to this. So what do I do now? No, I think I do a fast one, because this thing actually need mud on it instead of more blacks, more whatever to pick up the lines. So I do a quick pick up of the lines first. Wrong one. It's the wrong way. Yeah, something like that. And of course, left click. Okay, get the lighter one. Lighter greens are more blended in, like what I did here. And of course the lightest of washes. use what you call, use a paint thinner that I use for cleaning brushes. Okay, bring everything together. Like I said, guys, I'm still figuring out enamels after all these years. Okay. So fuse everything together. You know, on some of my bigger builds, some of my bigger builds like this Jeeps, the buggy. Okay, right now I think we are at the stage I'm comfortable in to start detailing. But this thing actually need muds, or do we really need mud? I think we need mud. So we're bringing some mud, but I have to keep all this. Keep this, and then we'll move on to detailing this. I will need this later. Okay, need this later. So we'll go for some mud flicks. Do I need this? Yeah, I think I need this. And we'll go for some mud flicks and then see what happens. Where is the toothpick? Nope, doesn't work well. So we forget it. Cancel the mud, or at least minimize it. That's why I start at the bottom of the pack, which packs usually sits on the ground. Okay, some more detail here. Maybe at the sides. I think that's as crazy as I go with mud. Okay, thin out the muds, or thin out the muds, blend in the muds, whatever. Okay, so we have something like that. Mud on green is not a green idea unless you are in Vietnam. Okay, so we come to this stage. Some of the parts are done. I'm still not sure whether I need to shoot this with a rattle can matte varnish, but we'll decide it later. So to detail this thing, how do I detail this thing? Let me figure it out. So with this thing here, this thing here, this thing here. I think I need more black. More black to bring out the. Yeah, I need more black. Oh no, not black. It's darker colors to blend in these two. If I use up. Oh no, wrong one. Oh. So to blend in these two. Okay, some here. Of course. Left flick. Okay, I'm happy with this. So let's do a quick addition to what to add on to the parachute packs. Okay, this one parachute pack. No, the other way. Yeah, the other way. Which turns out to be okay. Okay, this part is not it's not the, we haven't received the freight or additional wash. This part haven't received it when I, you know, but it, with the mud done here okay. Never mind, this thing is, I think this thing is extra. So our Gunny here, he has his primary weapon here. Then for this thing, for this backpack, this one is carried mostly as cargo or something like that. Okay, as additional cargo. So what do I do? Do I put back the M240 that I had it earlier? Give me a second. I'm trying to look for something. No, I'm saving my good stuff. My good stuff. Or this thing. Yeah. This one actually came with that freezer in the cabinet that I showed you earlier. So we'll introduce some cargo for our guy here. Made in China, $3, $4, M240. No. Do I have the shorter mini-me? I think this is a full-size version. I think. Do we have the ammo? Which maybe I strap onto some part as cargo. You know that is square one because I did too. Okay, so this one will also do a quick weathering on this guy. And maybe remove the ammo belt, or leave on the ammo belt and book it off somewhere. No, my God. Okay, let's activate some pins. Reactivate some pins. Can it be done? Is it too thin? Tune in for the next episode. Yep, so it's too thin. So more of this. Couple fingers. And more of this to thicken up this one so that we can do this one. A bit dry brushing job. Okay. Dry brushing job. Do we need something on the mini-me? No. Okay, some dry brushing run. Okay, so we will go on to using the same wash here. Okay, so for weapons, guns, you've seen a lot of fellas using gunmetal, silver. Okay, so actually the thing about weapons is how do I put it? It needs to be thoroughly washed. You don't carry around a heavily weathered gun just like that. I mean, they are in real life. The more current in a more current period, people tend to shoot their entire HK or M4 with paints, and the paints will rub off during field use in real life. But in modeling it actually don't bend it well. So weathering for for scale model, do for weapons, do it subtly. So to pick up the detail of this one, obviously some silver is needed, but it's not straight silver, it's actually weathered silver. Okay, I demonstrate to you. Cheap Daiso $2 Singapore, sorry, cheap Singapore $2 Daiso paint marker in platinum is it? Anyway, okay. So make sure this brush is dry. Cheap brush. Okay. Prime the brush a bit. This is actually not those marker, but really paint marker. Daiso one sells it for $2. Okay, pick up the edges, but not the plastic bar stock, plastic grip and the plastic four grip. Especially this part, I think the factory missed. This thing is actually to me actually looks chrome, chrome silver. Now over time actually I discovered that this is much cheaper than even hobby paint, and much easier to take care of, much easier to use. I mean to get dry brushing like that, even a dab of silver from a hobby paint is a lot. Then this thing is only $2, $2 Singapore dollars. Okay, try to pick up as much detail, raise detail as possible. Then we'll go out to milk this color. Okay, prime it again. As I'm running out. I think this M249 is a dragon, old dragon thing. It even has a no. This version doesn't have. I think I won with this bipod. There is not only can open but also can be pulled out. Which never mind, I hold my piece. Okay, so the muzzle, the flash hider, front sight, the gas regulator, the gas regulator. Okay, I will not pin. The gas regulator knob. Show again this part, which the factory I think left out. This one. So we have something like that. Okay, so we have something like that. This part. Okay. The magazine fit lip. Okay, so we have something like that. I hope the camera can pick up. Clean off the silver, which is practically the only color I ever clean off. Silver goes into the brush, the brush cleaning thinner, but again this silver will go into become a wash. Okay, so we have something like that. I'm still using the original elastic sling, which now I think the elasticity has gone. Okay, so we'll pick up the plastic parts, including the buckle here. Yeah, the buckle. It's a shame No, a lighter gray. Is the same gray, a lighter gray? My eyes are. This is the one I used just now. This is the lighter gray. Quick. Yeah, a lighter gray. You see, if I'm using silver for this one, just doing this one will take a lot of silver. So a marker is actually the cheaper way to go. It's more tidier some more. Okay, we'll go for the buckle. A bit of weathered buckle. Okay, and then of course pick out the details of weathered plastics, modern plastic stock. Okay, pick up the lines on the handle, stipple it a bit, and then the foregrip. This area is quite big, so stippling in place of frickling. Clean up this one a bit, then we'll smooth everything down and pick up more details. Of course, this one can go over gunmetal, but not gunmetal. The silver are over plastic. It's not reversible. Okay, the handle itself, and I think we are there. Okay, so right now with silver and gray, we take care of the raised part. Now we take care of the recessed part. Okay, the recessed part, and milk the silver. Then we apply on. Hey. In my moment of peace, I lost my bottle of. Okay, this one. This is the bottle I was using just now. Okay, so what happened? Oh, it just popped off. Okay, so to milk the silver, very light wash of brown first. Very light brown wash. Like what I told you, for weapons, very subtly. Okay, don't go crazy. This thing has been through hell, through mud. This one I will get you a lot of comments. You can't believe me. You want to actually pick up the reverse, the shadows. First, maybe even the push pins, the whole of the push pins first. Okay, do it subtly. And we'll take care of most of the silver. See? here. This is actually what the technique I favored over, you know, the what I described, the whole thing with a varnish. Then you apply the thing, wash over this one, then you pull it off with a spirit or whatever solvent. Okay, so we come to the other side. You try to pick up the shadow first. That means if the sun is coming down, pick up on this side first. The shadow side. Of course, the figure group, figure guide. Okay, as you pick up this, as you pick up the shadows, you'll notice the any silver that you this wash this wash comes upon will be slightly muted. So you want something like that. So you just, you know, work on it. Okay. Move here a bit. Move here a bit. Pick up the two rivers here because it's on top. Okay, the handle. Okay, so roughly right now we have the silvers basically more or less taken care of. I missed a river here. Actually, two rivers here. One river here, one river here. One pin here, one pin here, one pin here. Okay, this part. Okay. Okay, we'll let this one dry, then I will pick up the plastics. Okay, for plastics it's easy. Just do what I told you not to do. Go over the whole thing and just forget it. Don't pull it off. Okay, the same thing, two different method of applying or two different techniques. Okay. Okay, already you can see the gray that's dry brush on, very different from this one. This one is more like a, you know, used and rub thing. See, instead of doing the whole thing over to this silver part, I'm doing what I told you not to do here on black plastics. See, the whole thing is starting to get a bit more balanced. Okay, I think this part will be very telling. Okay, it's like a, you know, a very bad whitewash. So the same thing, everything in, then we'll come back for the slots. Okay, for this part you see, all black, all it's like a bad whitewash job. So again, pick up the corner, the shadows, which happen to be this slot too. Okay, this whatever detail here, I don't know what is it. I will come back for more reverse. Okay. Okay, so basically we have something like that. Okay, I missed out this part. Yeah, I missed out this part. So we have something like that, a bit more used. It actually looks what we call. I miss out the push pins here. My eyes. I'm serious about my eyes. I got very bad eyes. I'm doing all these things almost blind. That's why I don't do eyes. When I do eyes, when I do paint eyes, it's an embarrassment. Like this guy's eyes. So actually, I miss out this one. Okay. So we get to the last two. Okay, some flicks. I will let use hair dryer later to dry out the thing. So flicks, like what I told you, gently. Okay. You don't want to go crazy on weapons. Gently, man, gently. Okay, so we have something like that. But you can see I don't know whether the camera can pick up. The silver is still quite telling. Even if I do it carefully, the parts of the silver there are still parts of silver that's very telling. Even after the flicks everything. See? I don't know whether the camera. So we come to the last two parts. Dry the thing dry the thing thoroughly. Blend everything with a very thin wash. This is actually mostly green, but let's see if it works. Use a brush cleaning thinner. Just as thin as a wash as I can get. Okay, it's good enough. So you go over everything to melt everything. But this one, don't go crazy, just light passes. Okay, you don't want to leave any paint, and destroy any paint, leave any surfaces. Okay, after this one, another hair dryer. Then we'll flatten the paint down. Normally the flattening paint down, I don't do it. Actually, I don't do it. I just after this one, I leave the whole thing overnight. So when all the solvent cures and dry, the paint will somewhat flatten down by itself. But in cases of emergency or if I need to continue work, I may do the next step. And continue work instead of waiting for everything to dry until tomorrow. Okay, the muzzle, trash hider. Okay, I think we got everything a bit more muted, a bit more blended. Okay, I think I still haven't go through this part yet. Yeah, I still haven't gone through. Remember, this is actually basically green, because of all the green color I was using this past week. Okay, so it's more muted. Forgot about this one. maybe I'll do it. Okay, so okay, so for this one, if I leave it overnight, as the solvents dries and cure, it's the same thing as this goggle that was done at the earlier part. The color is actually separated quite well, but as it cures overnight, some of them will get infused and blended to, automatically. Okay. So for the next part, actually, if I'm in a hurry, I'll flatten down everything just by a brush. This is actually the brush I use for, a clean brush. Then just go through. For weapons, if you do this, it will bring back the the glint of a weapon. You can be camouflage quite well. Whatever, you can even camouflage your weapon, your rifle, whatever. But the glint of a weapon is always there. So this one I basically go for the metal parts, but not the plastic parts. More. So right now I'm going for the plastic part a bit. To bring a bit more shine back to the plastic part. So basically it's like that. Okay. Subtly weathered, but it's used. And it's still working. So I think we'll end this session here. I was actually going to show you how do I place it? Okay, this way. So actually this don't spill any paints. Put away this one. So actually as what I told you, this thing with this thing here, this one hanging like this way. This one is somewhere here. Okay, obviously this one being carried as a cargo, it could be tied here or here. Okay, so this one I'll explain tomorrow. So this thing will be actually tied to the back of on the bottom of the pack. Okay, to be airdrop. But of course I'll add maybe a camouflage here. I'll show you how to do it tomorrow. Okay, in the meantime, I think I put some of this back without varnish, because I think a bit of sheen on plastic is good. You can't have everything matte. See, it's already the color contrast is showing through. So I think we'll end the session here. I put on some of these things that we have done today, but I think we'll continue with detailing, like the detailing of the backpack, the detailing of the helmet, and some other stuff live tomorrow again. Okay, so another commercial. Good lord, 1 hour 39 minutes 48 seconds and still counting. Okay, commercial. Subscribe to my channel, guys. I need your support. My channel is new. please also like, comment and share my videos. Look out for my other videos too, like this one which I was done yesterday. Okay, see you guys in the next episode. Bye. Focus, focus, focus. Bye guys. Okay, see you guys tomorrow.